Yeah.
Because we're having to tie it up and straight.
I would like to get it. No, so, yeah, no problem. I think they, so. Oh, okay, they did. Well, there you go.
Oh, okay, cool. I will.
So I think, so we have a bond and she is over. She genuinely thought I wanted to put it. And I'm pretty sure she called the cops.
And I'd be like.
Murder.
Obviously.
Well.
Okay. Where's the fighting?
I read the blog.
Another.
That's great.
Good morning.
Go.
I have a question for you.
Sir.
Fun flailing. Oh, just walking, pacing back and forth.
Joyce's electric chair broke and there's some piece.
Even gas, like co-filling for me.
It was fixed, and I don't know. So those, I mean, and then, but I don't know. Or that.
They're the
So,
same.
and then- wondering.
I think we're on their way to the hospital last night.
The electric, motor part, or I think it's plugged in, it's not help.
Minus the
I don't know, Dave said, I don't have the coax cable, and I'm like, coax cable.
Looks like it's power supply. Good.
So you couldn't.
Yeah.
So you don't
Well, I'll
recognize
take
it.
those off.
Yeah.
Even more than say.
That's awesome, well, find the, contact.
No. So how are you doing? Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the problem. Which one is which? So maybe start, you know, all in. Where?
Yeah, those two.
Oh, I mean, what do you have? Where is?
I have.
Give me suggestions. Yes.
I think it's right past. Just doing it.
Well, that was, we appreciate, we
Yeah, and I don't.
How often? A lot, Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
Well, that's actually not too far apart.
That's awesome.
That's like summer and time. Yeah.
Give suggestions of a law. This is remind me.
Yeah.
Remind me.
The first thing I learned for the last 8 years is,
My first time was.
Michelle called him and said, "Fucking emailed me, I emailed Jack, he said that you know, Jack." I'm like, yeah.
But I always. Right, that's not good.
Yeah.
And, you know, or you enjoy it. Yeah, yeah. They think there's is it improvement?
I'm gonna be surprised. How are you? Oh my God. I'm so
Right.
excited.
You don't have one?
You're meant to be one. Come in, you stay right there. I'm coming in for a look. I want to record you. Coming in. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. But I mean, you still have somebody living there.
Fantastic. I want to take Tom back. It was so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I have, family that, it's come out of John Bottom, I work for,
I want to help Rochelle.
So the last I heard, he was still working. To go on, and she might have got that figured out.
Hey, Mr. Chris, you gotta do the honors.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah, so everybody, that's, here's the flag up here, so please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And over here, we have the yellow flag. Four-way test. So first,
Is
is
it
it
third?
second,
Is it third?
third,
Well, the bill.
fourth.
Fifth.
Fifth.
Is it what?
Awesome. Okay, Mr. President. And then R for.
You will say?
Yes. Eileen.
Yes. Today's quote is, "A river cuts through a rock, not because of its power, but because of its persistence." The water.
A little bit of dribble over many, many millennia. Yeah.
Hello.
Okay. I don't think we have any guests today, but we do have our speaker, our visitor today, Shannon Coy. And he's with Snohomish City Life. He's gonna be our presentation. Good to have you.
Thank you.
And this is a first for me. We have no birthdays, no anniversaries, and no Rotary anniversaries.
Whoa.
Wow.
So
What's wrong with that? Is it the truth?
Yeah, it is definitely fair. And could be beneficial. All right, some announcements. First of all, this is your last chance to decide if you want to be going after a board position. For this following year.
You want to go after the people on the board, is that what you mean? Go after people on the board?
Yeah, that too. Going after a position is like going after a person. Gary will be handling the election during his part of the presentation today, and
And as you know from before, we have a list, of, board suggested nominees. And, it's essentially the same as it was last year, that's very little change. But, anyhow, this is your last chance to say, I would like to also be considered for it. Otherwise, it'll be business as usual. Okay, quick reminder, district assembly, is on April 6th. We've been talking about that a lot, so hopefully somebody is signed up. Do we have?
I have four.
We have 4 signed up, so we
I'll
have.
tell you about that in a little bit.
Okay, great. Rand and Lance, I just want to say, the scholarship forms and the whole process, online process was absolutely cool.
Nice, great. We got our,
Yeah, it looks like somebody's been working a lot on it,
Yeah.
so,
Tracy, we have your form coming.
yeah, it's really cool. And Christine, could we borrow you up here for a second?
Somebody's in trouble.
No, this is something that's really overdue, but, thank you for being our sponsor this last week.
All right.
All right, thank you very much. We had a big Aquafest meeting last night. The, board, Aquafest board did, I should say, but, we attended, we being Rand and Gary and myself, and of course, Chris Jacobson attended, because he, I believe, is the president.
No.
Um,
No.
He is.
He's the vice president, I think.
And, it was a good meeting. It, started out a little somber from the standpoint of financial concerns and, difficulty with, space available and wanting to plan for the future and wanting to keep everybody happy. But I'm happy to report that it ended in a very high note. I think the group there, was enthusiastic. And, I think that they have a plan and it has some interesting little twists on it that I think will be nice. One of them, is the possible relocation of the beer garden from that back lot that it used to be at over to the observation deck, if that can all be cleared with the city and everything. And, so it would be a great spot to sit and have a beer and look out over the great lawn and see everything going on and maybe even keep track of kids, if they're down there. A lot of activities, oriented activities planned for the large lawn area. Gosh. But one of the activities that kind of caught our Rotary ear is having a cornhole competition. And immediately, I think the three of us, kind of made a connection between corn booth and cornhole and started that wheel turning. So I'm throwing out to y'all that I think we should volunteer. You kind of already did. We could get out of it, but we should volunteer to be the organizers for the cornhole competition. And ideally, if we could get that situated, at least for the first 2 days, next to where the corn booth is, I think it would be very synergetic. It'd be fun. So,
Matt Tabor hosted it last year. And
That was at July 4th. That was like,
Oh, okay, so it wasn't wanted off of that.
no,
Okay,
he's still doing the July 4th this year too.
cool.
but all sorts of other really, what I thought were really good ideas, all in the interest of kind of condensing it, having it fit into the space that will be available long-term. But one of the convincing things I kind of like is the possibility of having the car show along Main Street, basically south of the post office. Close to all the other activities, just to kind of keep the group together, so to speak, so people can kind of see what's going on when they're, you know, on the front.
So they are gonna have a car show.
That seems to be the plan.
Perfect, thank you.
And they're already lining up music. You know, the venue will of course do their like it was last year, and they're lining up bands and that type of thing. So it's kind of serious. I think it's gonna happen this year.
Where's the back, where's the, yeah, are you gonna be?
That's actually gonna split off, and I think that was gonna be at the high school.
Yeah, they're trying, they haven't, I mean, they haven't talked to the high school yet, but that was the gist of the conversation, that they were probably gonna go up there.
Yeah. So certainly more to come and all that, but, I do think it's going to be important for us to try to volunteer our effort, our labor, not just in, maybe the cornhole, but just in general. Aquatus needs boots on the ground for the weekend. There's just a lot of activity required, to kind of keep the thing running, and it's all volunteer work, so I think we can do this, you know, we need some good community, service projects, and there's nothing better than this, really, in my mind. So let's keep that weekend open if we can. As far as I know, it's the same weekend as last weekend,
Yeah,
so, I'm pretty pumped. I think it's gonna be really fun. I like where they're going with this.
Hey, John, before you move on from event or potential event kind of things, last week I toured the Vice Commodore of the Seattle Outboard Racing Association.
Yes.
I toured him around the lake. They're interested in getting back onto Lake Stevens with racing events. Yeah, so he was gonna try to fit one in this year, but their schedule's already pretty tight for this year. I said, even if it's like a morning exhibition, like just something, right? Just to start crawl, walk, running on it. So it might be an interesting, when I talked to him about it, it's like, let's figure out how this is not only racing, but it's like a boat show, boat event, water event for downtown. So it might be an opportunity in the future, maybe next year, just to think about, and how does Rotary be a part of that?
Yeah. We could even potentially try to combine, you know, if the timing could work out, you know, a few boats kind of be part of the boat parade, maybe making the lap around the lake before the rest of the boats, and kind of wake everybody up a little bit.
Maybe we get a Rotary boat, Amy holds the lane.
Moving cornhole.
Moving.
so just something to think about.
They're very, very interested in coming back. They just gotta figure out like where they can print the course. They're not sure they can do it in North Cove. That's
Pretty, well,
Very
it's all
tight.
there, shoot, other than the water.
But he very much liked, London.
Lundin Park, just because it's got more parking space, or, I mean, it seems like Davis Beach is more central.
Yeah, but then you don't have the capabilities of like spectators.
Right.
Much more diminished, so I wasn't gonna show him Lundin, but then I think he actually everyone likes North Cove, obviously, but the constraints of the cove are the problem for the course. Because they don't like wander out there and then start, they like just go. So it needs to be close to wherever they're at, so he really liked London.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Yeah, well, that'd really be fun to get them on the lake. Yeah. All right, let's do our reports. Jack, do you have anything new?
Not really. My money's in. We are slowly getting reconnected to our investment account. So, yeah, thanks, Lori.
Getting reconnected to our money, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
We can do it.
Yeah.
All right, Gary.
Next board meeting is on Tuesday, April 9th at the Lake Stevens Brewery at 7 p.m. District conference on April the 6th, there are 4 of us going. Rand is going to drive, Chris Vallow, myself, up there, for the, 9 to 3 o'clock. I think we're leaving at 6 o'clock from Silver Hill Road. So, it'll be, an interesting drive up there, and usually they're great sessions. Good chance to connect with other clubs. Good chance to just get acquainted with, other things that's going on in Rotary. So there's 4 of us, we have to pay for 5, but, 4 will work. Might as well do election of officers. All of you have in front of you the election, or the proposed board. If there is anybody that would like to be nominated for, you can do secretary, treasurer, or one of the directors positions. Now is the time to speak, because then we'd have to have a vote. Otherwise, if no one steps up to it, we can, Don can offer it up as a, to vote on the, one listed in the, handout.
All right. Do we have any additional nominees?
I nominate Chris Vallow for public image chair.
Yeah.
He couldn't even remember last year. That's right.
I'm in.
Is foundation still on?
Foundation is, well, foundation is one of the positions that, a director position.
So I would be in. Nice.
All right. Any others?
I'm just gonna say, does Rand wanna be in foundation as well? So maybe nominate Rand, I don't know.
No, I'm busy with public image, but talk to me again in 2 years.
Oh, okay, I was just thinking if Chris was gonna go into public and then.
These are my notes that I've been on there.
I'm gonna help him out.
Okay.
Make sure he's straight.
Sorry, I was just joking. Don't take anything I say seriously.
Oh, that sounded pretty serious to me.
You are a public image.
Okay. Well, in the interest of time, just one last time, any other nominees or nominations? Because we will have a vote, and what we'll do is we'll put a ballot and we'll distribute it a little later in the meeting, and everybody can basically. Right. Yeah, I guess, Gary, I would suggest that we just hand out pieces of paper. And we only have one position where there's more than one candidate, and that's the foundation.
Yeah.
And you just, the other candidate is Rochelle. She was it last year. And basically you just write Bob or Rochelle. Simple enough.
Yep.
Okay.
Does Rochelle want to?
So everybody on it wants to.
Yeah, everyone's been asked and has at least offered to continue. Whether that means one, two, or. Yeah.
However, the issue is that we really need, a strong emphasis on the foundation. When Jim Hagan was doing it, I mean, we went, when he took it over, we really excelled. And last year, we missed out on some of the awards because of the change of personnel. We went from Jim Steinreich, went from Jim Hagan to Jim Steinreich to Rochelle. And the accounting and stuff like that got kind of all up in the air, and it didn't get to RI. And so we did not get some awards that we should have gotten last year. And that's the only thing, that somebody has got to be on it. The one thing about Hagan, Jim was here all the time, and he was constantly talking about the foundation. Right. And bringing up the foundation, and it's important from the standpoint, if you want to grow for scholarships alone, as we have used the ping pong ball and the little, 5 or 6, who would you like to support? Scholarships was right up there with, I think they're number 1, number 1. And then food bank, I think was number 2, and so on. But to get that money, you have to have the foundation. And, you know, I love Rochelle, but we don't see her at the meetings right now.
Right.
She keeps saying she's coming back, but she's now living in Everett. And I think she still wants to be dedicated, but you can also have co-chairs too. So,
Well, I'm glad you're volunteering for.
I didn't know it was gonna be a competition, but I don't think anybody knows my background.
I
I've
was
been a
just
trainer
wondering.
for 20 years.
Yeah.
well, that's one thing you probably should have said.
No, I'm not gonna be it, I'm sorry. I've got years, I'm not, but I am an accountant and I fill out paperwork pretty good.
But you do have a long history with Rotary.
I do it, I'm familiar with the foundation paperwork and every Rotarian every year.
Stepping up, Ron.
Yeah, we're here a while, yeah. That helps too, so, very good to have some added minutes. All right, Gary, anything else? or-
No.
So,
That's enough.
oh,
Next week is spring break, so is there a meeting in this room still?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Chris, it's
Yeah,
your meeting next
doesn't
week.
stop operations.
Oh, really?
So, as I mentioned, previous meetings, I'm gone all of week. So, both, Chris and Ron will be filling them in various, next week, I guess, it's Chris's.
Next year.
What? All right, well, let's, move it along. I think Gary might have gone out to start making ballots.
We can excuse me. Right.
Yeah.
You know, hey. Hey, Gary. No, okay, Gary might have some extras, so we'll just use these and just kind of either circle,
Shell for name.
yeah, well, I was gonna say that, we also filling in for Jim Steinrich, but I guess you would be filling in for Jim Steinrich, but I have a hunch that you would probably be doing it here. So, yeah, just write on this and pull it in half, and we'll be, toward the end of the meeting, this will be very efficient. And then, Dan, if you'd like to just, maybe let us know after the meeting, your vote, that would be good.
Yes, can do.
I mean, you can just literally text it or email it to Gary or myself or whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
47 ballots turned in with 20 people.
James, do you want to do the honors?
No.
Or let's just do,
Voting or?
no,
Running.
we'll do that while we're doing happy clubs.
Yeah.
To kind of combine, so.
I lived in Chicago for a while where we vote early and vote often, so, but I thought you were at.
And Gary, while we're doing happy clubs, will you kind of be looking for people and have full of them?
Yep, I've already got a couple.
All righty. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
All right, we want to give our guest speaker time to give a presentation. So, sir, if I have you throw out the winning raffle ticket, please hit the red one and read the last 3 numbers nice and loud. Let's slide down, people.
Last 3 numbers are 0, 0,
one. All right.
That's one of the.
You're having fun. You're having fun.
All righty. Sponsor, look at that, awesome. Appreciate Ace and support of the community. So, there you go.
You're number one. You're number one.
All right. We're gonna move along here, do Happy Bucks today. Are you happy, Mr. President?
I'm happy, like I said, I'm going on vacation.
Ooh, where are we going?
We are going to Baja, we are going to Boston, we are going to Santorini,
That's not a B.
and we're going to Athens.
Wow.
Kind of make it an upside down Nike swoosh. How's that?
And the whole month you're gonna be gone? Yeah. Awesome, enjoy it, enjoy it. Dan, are you happy? Can't hear.
Yes,
Try it again?
Yes, I'm very happy. My daughter has another dance competition.
So,
No.
just a thumbs up or thumbs down.
All right, start over here.
Yes, happy dollar. I hope you guys enjoyed today. Picking out the breakfast afterwards. I'm excited about that.
Oh, that's right.
I've got an interesting April myself. On April 3rd, I'm gonna have bilateral carpal tunnel surgery. So I'm gonna be sitting in my office at work and doing nothing.
Are you really going for work?
I am, I have to be there for hygiene. So the 15th, the last 3 weeks, I'll be there, but I can't do anything.
So good, wear a big straw hat.
I know.
You can boss people around.
And we're gonna be, I've got some files we're gonna, clear and it'll be good.
That was April,
3rd is my surgery.
Absolutely.
is it outpatient?
Have nice.
Right, thanks, that would be helpful. She's like, sure.
Michelle?
Yeah, I have, I've always here and I'm so glad to be at my house. I want to say that the beautiful flowers that you guys have are still beautiful. And it was so nice. It just made me feel really good. So, thank you.
We appreciate you, Joyce, so, thank you. Huh?
Oh, and, sorry I was late, traffic was bad.
Oh, we're not gonna talk about that. This is all.
I'm 98, but I'm happy to still be walking on my own.
All right.
Me too. All right.
I'm super happy. At the best night ever, the YMCA, Snohomish County all came together and celebrated that cumulatively we raised $1.5 million. A lot of you supported that, so I appreciate that. The best part was that the CEO of the Everett YMCA invited little Gracie, my 9-year-old girl, to come up on stage and welcome everyone, and Gracie said yes and spoke into the microphone so brilliantly. It was great, yeah. So it was an amazing night to celebrate our community and philanthropy and just so much goodness.
Abby, we had a really great meeting yesterday with the tribes on, creating a 10-year plan to redirect the outflow channel out of downtown, not out of downtown, but to do some great improvements that will increase, fish passage, spawning grounds, and stuff. So I'm really excited.
So we're seeing the fish like
Big fish.
that one.
Like, I think, Don had a picture.
Yeah.
I know, I saw that, and I had some great.
Those will become rubber ducks, right?
All right, awesome.
Rubber ducks will float through there better, right? No, that's part of the planning process.
Yeah.
We're getting good slope on that. Happy to be.
All right.
So, certainly happy, everything's going good, the garden's coming together, yes, I will plant.
Yay!
Oh, yeah.
Love the zucchini store. I'm gonna put in a happy 20, but I've missed a couple of meetings, but just happy for the Sherwood Egg Hunt that's gonna happen today. So I have no idea how big it's gonna be. I've got some worries about what parking might look like, but,
Hopefully you have.
we'll see what happens. At Sherwood.
I'm happy it's Friday. I'm happy to see the lovely Joyce Bell here in the house and, had a really great night last night with some lovely ladies from Stevens. And if you have not been to the Colby Club, which is easy in Everett, perfection. Perfection. Right on Colby. It's on the corner of Hewitt and Colby, and it's right next to, it's the old Starbucks, right next to Heritage Bay.
Yeah.
It's wonderful, and they were so nice.
Happy to be here, I've been here a couple weeks.
Sound like you have traveling or wedding planning or anything.
Yeah, no, it's been busy.
I am just happy it's Friday.
Happy to be here, said for the egg hunt, we bring my son every year, go back there. Also shout out to our police department. You guys follow food bank on Facebook, some excited about it. Brett actually told me that they're in South guy. And, so the police department actually told us at like 11 o'clock at night, and I saw the message come through on my email. And when I called them, because I got the footage, the lady literally showed up in like 45 seconds or something like that after I called the non-emergency line. Very impressive. So good to know that they're doing what they're supposed to do, doing great.
I'm happy it's Friday. We've got a great crowd always. So we go out fun and Joyce, nice to see you. So that was awesome.
So what's the occasion there, Mr. President-elect?
It is, I'm attending a retirement in about 5 minutes. Call a speaker I wanna go today. So, right. Not myself.
Yeah.
I started with Rose, so that kind of gives me that, yeah, I'm getting close to it, so. So happy, excited about that, excited, and thanks to the people that stepped up for board positions. And Bob, thank you, it's awesome. And then I'm going for a week in Arizona, so. All right, see you. Thanks, congratulations, thank you.
Secretary.
Well, thanks to everybody. We had a good, board meeting in Sherwood the other day. We got a lot of things, exciting things that are happening there. And then, I went from there and I went over to across the, not too far away and went to the Aquafest meeting. And that was, started out like, we said, it was kind of quiet and somber, but it really ended up on a strong note. It was a good meeting, and, I think everybody was in total agreement, so, thank you.
Just happy to make it Friday.
Awesome. Good deal. Jack.
Both Joyce and Warren.
And I will second that, and I apologize, Speaker, I'm gonna have to bug out here in a few minutes. We're looking forward to what you have to share.
Well, we had an overwhelming voting process. It's unlike the one that, we didn't ask, the Secretary of State to sit in and help us on the voting. But, congratulations, Bob, you're. And one other thing, that, you should know is, there is a co-chair. Membership is going to have a co-chair. It's going to be, Kyle and Raquel. Raquel and Kyle had already talked about it. We forgot to mention that, but, so there'll be, co-chairs on that.
Well, I'm excited. It's gonna be another good year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Shannon, Shanboy with Snohomish City Life is going to tell us about your interesting little publication. Well, thank you. Thank you, John, for inviting me there.
Good morning.
Morning.
Congratulations to those of you recently elected. Nice job. Appreciate your service. I want to say thank you to Brad. Met him at Starbucks the first time. He was wearing the vest and said he was the mayor, so I stuck my hand out.
That's his office.
This is his office.
That's my office west.
So we're co-officing then. So, anyway, thank you for giving me an opportunity to share what it is that we're doing, what we're all about, kind of how we started. And this, that, and the other. My experience with Rotary is very limited, but I love what I see there. I know that you're a service organization and I think you're gonna find with our publication and what we do, we're kind of hand in hand. So I think I may have to visit you much more often.
You can join us.
I was gonna say, I paused for a moment just to see if that was forthcoming. Well, there are some familiar faces in here, some people that I've seen. Christine is a client of ours, and we're proud to have her as part of our magazine, part of our launch actually, and we just love the work that she does. My goal this morning is to introduce you to City Lifestyle. We're a franchise organization out of Kansas City, been around for about 15 years. And I also want to share a little bit about my story, how I came to this point where we've launched, purchased the counties, Snohomish County as far as the franchise territory is concerned, and why we chose to do that. And then what the status of our magazine, where it is today, what our plans are moving forward. A little bit about me. I'm a native of the Pacific Northwest. I was born in Montana, Missoula, Montana. I've spent most of my youth in Idaho, northern Idaho, Lewiston. Anyone know where Lewiston is? Lewiston, Idaho? You were born there?
Yep.
Oh. Kindred spirits.
Now you have to join the club.
Now I have to join, that's right. Spent most of my youth in Lewiston, Idaho, playing baseball and just loving the outdoors. Went to Alaska just after high school so I could work in construction on heavy equipment, pay my way through school. Went to University of Oregon where I met my soulmate and bride of 36 years, Teresa. And finally in Washington. We've been in Washington now for about the last 20 years. Vancouver first, then Renton. We've lived in Sultan, Monroe, the whole issue now. My interest in business started early. When I was 14 years old, my dad asked me, I just got my driver's license, and he asked me what I was going to do for the summer because work was given. And I said, well, I don't know, I'll do something. And he said, well, we've got the truck and you can sell firewood if you want. And I thought, well, that'd be fun. So I called my best buddy and I knew he'd say yes because he was up for anything. And Doug said, let's go. So we started selling firewood and we loaded up the truck with, high sides and had 3 cords of firewood stacked on it. We headed to town and we were looking for a place to go and knock on doors and see who might want to buy some firewood. This gentleman had firewood all over, stacks of firewood, cordwood stacked all over his yard. And I thought to myself, well, he needs firewood. I mean, he's got cords of wood everywhere. And Doug looked at me and said, what are you thinking? Look at all that firewood he's already got. Well, I pulled in the driveway, knocked on the door, and the guy comes to the door and he said, I said, we sell firewood. Do you happen to need any? He laughed and he said, well, what do you have? I said, I've got timber. And he said, how much do you have? I said, I have all you need. And he said, I'll take it. There's a story, right? Why would someone with firewood want more? Well, what I found out later on after I delivered 10 cord of firewood to him was that the firewood that he had was firewood from his property that had fallen and had seasoned, but it didn't burn well in the stove. We wanted to mix it with something that would burn really good. And so it was to help him. run a business that way. But something struck me at that point, and I've often wondered what causes someone to say yes. It was like a lightning bolt went through me, and I knew I was going to spend the rest of my life trying to figure out what made someone say yes. So that started my entrepreneurial path, if you will. My dad had, like I said, my dad had a construction company, so I began to crawl under pieces of equipment and figure out how they worked and grease them and make sure that they worked really, really well. Became good friends with the equipment operators. The equipment operators would show me how things work, articulated, this, that, and the other. By the time I was graduated from high school, I had 2,500 documented hours on the student. So I was a journeyman equipment operator team. My dad said, you need to go to Alaska. You find a construction company, walk on site with your boots and your gloves and say you're ready to go to work. I did that. Got a job making $36 an hour in 1984. First place I stopped. I only say that not to brag. They didn't know me from anybody, but to say that hard work is something that we're willing to turn to and encourage with our youth. It's good for them. It's good for us. It's good for our communities. I'm a firm believer. Went back to down south and started my own construction company while I was still in college, and the encouragement of my wife, and did that for about 5 years, hurt my back, and anyway, left the construction industry because I loved it, but a good friend of mine called me up and said, what are you going to do now? So I'm not sure what I'm going to do now. I was 22 years old. I couldn't continue in what my profession was. And he said, why don't you come sell software? Construction, software. I said, I don't even own a computer. What am I going to sell software? Well, I'm not going to go into that story. I'll tell it some other time. 6 months later, I was selling software. I was packing around a computer I couldn't work, couldn't use, didn't know how to use it. And I was selling software to some large software retailers. And that took me into a new line of work, software development, software integration, sales, point of sale, inventory. See what it was. A lot of our lives revolve around inventory, point of sale. That business I did for 27, 28 years. Loved it. Sold it in 2022. And my wife said, you got to find something new to do. So I found City Lifestyle. I was in Bellevue at an appointment. This beautiful magazine was sitting on the coffee table. I picked it up and it felt nice in my hands. I opened it up. Publisher's letter. It was from Caitlin Agnew, the publisher down in Bellevue, Kirkland area. And I called her on the phone. I said, tell me about your magazine. And she said, tell me about your business. She thought it might be an advertisement. And so I told her my story. She says, you need to call corporate back in Kansas City. I know they're looking to grow additional franchise locations. I did one better. I went on their website and I found 154 other publishers around the country and began to call them. I called all of them that were listed. I didn't talk to every one of them, but I called them. I wanted to know why they did what they did, what they loved about it, what they didn't like about it. And I said, please give me the dirt on corporate. And it was an amazing response. They were very forthcoming, very willing to share with me what they were doing, and all of them very excited about it. But the strand that was kind of running through what all of them said was the impact that it had on the community. And I didn't understand that yet. I understand it a little bit better now, and I'll go into that here a little bit. But when I would talk to one of the publishers, I said, I'm going to call your advertisers because the publication is digital, so I can go in and go through the pages, find Christine and call her if she would call the advertisers. I called almost 200 advertisers to see what they thought of the magazine, see what they thought of what they did in general. And to a person, they were delighted with the experience they had with the publisher and with the response that they were getting from the community. So I needed to know more. Called corporate and went down this path to be vetted, become a franchisee, and ended up being blessed enough to start right near Snohomish, where we live, and we've been here for almost 20 years.
So I know the area, and I knew that Snohomish County in general was not only diverse, but really, really an amazing community. And what I learned about the magazine was they like to write stories about the people that make it great to live in. And so as I finish up and kind of continue what we're talking about here, keep in mind and think about those people that you know, regardless of what they do, right? Keep in mind those people that make living here wonderful. Because I want to meet them. I want to meet them. I want our editor to meet them. I want our writers to interview them, and we want to write their story. Again, regardless of what they do, it's really, really important. It elevates the community. I just found out, we've been around for about 6 months as far as publication. We started almost a year ago, but we launched in December. Someone actually who gets a magazine in Florida decided they were going to move to the Seattle area. They didn't know where to move. They looked online, found our publications, Bellevue, Kirkland, and Mercer Island, as well as Snohomish. Guess where they moved?
Snohomish.
Right? Right? Some of it was what they found in the magazine. So that's powerful, isn't it? So that's a little bit about what we do. A little bit about city lifestyle in general. As a company, 15 years in business this September. 2 high school friends, Matthew and Stephen. Left high school, one went the route in college of journalism, one went the route of technology. And they were always ribbing each other about, Brandon will appreciate this, Prince's dad is what Matthew would say to Stephen. And tell you what Stephen would say to Matthew, but it's about technology. But in short, what they did after college was they came back to where they lived, Leawood, Kansas, Leawood, Missouri, sorry. And what they decided they wanted to do was, could they do something together? Could they form a business and do something together, leverage Stephen's writing and interest in storytelling and Matthew's technology and bring it together and have it benefit their community. So they started a lifestyle magazine, a luxury lifestyle magazine, right in Leawood. And that publication continues today under a franchise. And we have 181 publications around the country, all aimed at the same purpose. And we've got 31 publications that are in their launch date. So it's a high growth business. We want to continue to expand. We focus on hyper local areas, and we want to bring to the homeowners in the area products and services, businesses that really represent the community well and serve our homeowners with the highest degree of service, which as homeowners, what else do we want? Right? We want a good deal, but we also want the highest degree of service. Services for the home, for example, landscape, roofing, remodeling, HVAC, anything that you might need for your home that you're not going to do yourself. Or if you're like me, you'll attempt to do it yourself, and then your wife's colleagues, the professional. That happens quite a little bit. We want to be able to, after about 3 years, the magazine becomes kind of a vetting tool. People will go to the magazine and say, well, let's at least give them a call. And as a business owner, what more could you want? At least to be considered. Health and beauty salons and spas, dermatology, massage, event venues, automotive, not only new car, luxury car brands, but service, customizations, accessories. Those tend to do really, really well. Entertainment. Somebody mentioned the speakeasy. Right? So just hearing you talk about them perks my ears. We had a great experience. Right? There's a lot of places that we can go and have a good meal. The overall experience, that's what we're looking for. That's what we as consumers tend to be looking for. That's what we really want to highlight. Entertainment, art galleries, theaters, music, etc. Care for your pets, care and health. The audiences that we serve 3 audiences. One is our readers. The way that we serve our readers is with great material, great articles. Our people don't pick up a magazine so they come up to the ass. Nobody does that. Okay, but they do pick up the magazine to read the articles, and we want to write articles, like I said before, about people that make living great. We start often with our business partners because every business has been through tough stuff. And we like to tell that story. The business owner will let us tell the hard stuff. It really creates a connection with the reader. We've all read that material where, oh, this tugs on your heartstrings. Now you have a connection with the subject of that article. We want to write those stories, business owners will let us. We also talk about their team, development of their team, success of their business, and then finally their philanthropic passions. A lot of business owners, as they become successful and build out their team, they start picking philanthropic work to support. We want to write about that. It's really, really important. It makes living great. So our first audience is our readers. We like to feature our readers in stories, like I said before, but we also want to show them as often as we can as the subject matter expert that they are. Most business owners have got a skill set or a level of experience or, something. I was talking to a remodeler who I'm really good friends with. He happens to be in a magazine, Ron Vanderbeck in Marysville. Vanderbeck remodel. Level of experience and the high degree of professionalism, attention to detail. Isn't that what you're looking for when you have a remodel? And so we want to feature them as a subject matter expert. And so we work with them on creative ways as to how we do that. And then, lifestyle stories in general. The second audience that we serve are our business partners. We serve them with an ad placement in the magazine, but also through these stories that we tell. The ad creation, making it look beautiful, compelling. So we want to serve them, really, really highly. Finally, we serve our local community. Again, if someone moved here from Florida as a result of what they found in the magazine, I'm honored to share that story. I just love that idea. And for communities, this audience here, Rotary, it's interesting probably to you to know that that's not the impact we have. But we want to put the community in a good light. And so we don't take on any topics that are controversial. Right? Not going there. If it's going to divide our audience, not interested. There's other places that can go with that. But just know that we're all about that. Let's see here. As far as our publication is concerned, we purchased the franchise late summer, spent about 120 days launching the magazine, and launched in December. You can go to our website, citylifestyle.com/Snohomish, and see all of our issues. And all of our issues will be there in perpetuity. We're blessed enough to be doing this for 10 years. You'll see 10 years worth of issues on our digital platform. Like I said, we're 181 publications today with 31 on the horizon. Locally, we've got Bellevue. Bellevue has been around for about 6 years. Kirkland's been around for about 5 years. Mercer Island's been around for about 1.5 years. And then us. Some that are regional. Regionally, we've got Boise, Meridian, Bend, Bozeman, Missoula, Reno, several in the Las Vegas area, and then St. George, Utah. On the national level, we've got Boulder, Colorado, Franklin, Tennessee, Kona Coast, Hawaii, Mill Creek, Utah, Long Branch, New Jersey. Long Branch just says Texas to me. I'm not sure why. Somehow they got away with pulling that from New Jersey. Lakewood, Florida, Cedar Park, Texas, Medina, Ohio. I mentioned those last few because those names here, right? Mill Creek, Utah, for example, Lakewood, Medina. Moving forward, we started Snohomish again because Snohomish City, Snohomish County, we purchased the county and we thought, well, it's just a natural place to start. It also had, it was kind of at the center of Monroe and Lake Stevens. And I think we made a good decision with regard to that. The support's been really, really strong. The similarities were the reason there's some demographic requirements to launch a magazine. One is you got to have the business community to support, a large enough business community support. And unfortunately, there's not enough businesses in Lake Stevens to really have its own magazine. Doesn't mean it could in the future, but currently there's not enough businesses to do that. So we're going to begin to serve Lake Stevens and Monroe with the Snohomish publication. And we just hope and believe that the business community will embrace that, let us tell their story, elevate the community,
and, promote what you're doing and then celebrate your contribution. So I think that's what our plan is. There's some similarities, as you know, between Lake Stevens, Snohomish, and Monroe. It's rural, a little more rural than normal. We're real close to the big city, but I just think there's some synergies there there's some rivalries. We'll talk about that, but there's some real synergies that Lake Stevens, Monroe. Let's see here. We're gonna roll Monroe in as well. You'll see on the bottom of the magazine also serving Lake Stevens and Monroe. And Monroe, really their delivery audience is so dispersed, it's really difficult in our magazine, Monroe Lifestyle, so we're gonna serve that market as well. Let's see here, additional magazines in the county that we see are possibilities in the future: Everett, Mill Creek, and Bothell together. Possibly Snohomish County North, which would include Marysville, Arlington, and Stanley. Linwood, and then Edmonds and Woodward might be a magazine we'll just have to see, but maybe input you have about future magazine. We should. I've got more I can talk about, brag about, but anybody have any questions I can answer?
I have lots of questions.
Ladies? Okay.
So first,
Yeah.
how many readers do you currently have?
We are an audited publication. What that means is we use a third-party company that goes out and queries the audience that we mail to and asks if they read it. We're read today, according to audits, by about 60,000 readers on a monthly basis. And as we add Lake Stevens and begin to manage Lake Stevens and Monroe, our plan is to double that. So we'll be, approaching 120,000. We did have, just for Snohomish, our website, we had 78,000 unique visitors to our website in February. So in addition to people reading the magazine, people are visiting the website where the magazine is in a digital format.
My next question.
Yeah.
So I'll be really transparent. I work for a local nonprofit that does amazing work.
Love that.
How do we get it in the magazine?
Oh, love that. So we just need to know about you. We just need to know about you.
Can I get your card?
Absolutely.
That would be great.
Yeah, my card is I've got plenty of magazines for everybody. My card is really my magazine now.
So
So
where do I
everybody, if you want a magazine, you're gonna leave with one today.
Is your contact information?
Contact information is in there through our website.
Okay.
So see what I'm doing there? I'm giving you a magazine, taking you to the website.
Yeah, but what if I wanted to stalk you individually?
You can't do that.
Okay.
We don't advertise that.
So you talk about the open markets in the county. Do you have first right of refusal for those markets? If somebody said, I want to go open in Edmonds, and
Yeah.
then you get the first right of refusal?
I get to talk to them. Yeah, I get to talk to them, or maybe mentor them. If they go through a vetting process with corporate, first of all, and so they don't even get to me until we get to that particular point. But the answer is yes. Yeah. And I'd love to. If we could accelerate.
Will read online versus getting this in the mail?
Again, how many read it? That's a,
Get delivered to the mailbox.
the online readership again is about 78,000 in February. I know it was just over 70,000 in January. And then 60,000 readers up the print. So we've actually really quickly, and this is common, we've really quickly exceeded the number of readers of the print magazine with digital. And I hesitate to expound on that too much. They're visitors, they're unique visitors to the website. How many read? I'm not sure.
No.
Who else, Gary?
How often do you print? Do you do it monthly?
We're monthly, yeah, monthly publication. We're working on June right now. Our women's issue, I'm so excited about our women's issue. It's the May publication. We're just rolling it out. I'm proofing it this week. It's going to be stunning. The celebration of the ladies in the area that are really doing some big work. Men's issue is never as good. It might be subject matter, but our June issue, I'm really excited about that too. We've got some, so we've got some themes that run through the year. Again, women's in May, the men's issue in June. July is our explore issue, and that's pretty broad. There's all kinds of things that you can explore, and so we love it when they give us a broad topic to talk about. As we get into August, it's kids and pets. I'm not sure why they put them together. But kids and pets is August. September is a style issue. And the ladies love that issue. But it's not just, clothing and that type of thing. It's, how do we style our homes? How do we make things look? We're all attracted to beauty, right? Various different forms and style that speaks to that. Then we get into the holiday season, Thanksgiving, but giving actually in November. And then January starts off with a bang, health and fitness. Yay. And the theme just continues, but
How do you find your contributors? How do they show up?
yeah, I love that. So we start with our partners. If you look at our magazine, look at our advertising partners, we start with them. If their business happens to be on theme, we go talk to them. And if it's gonna, some of the businesses are seasonal, like you're gonna see in the May issue, one of our lead stories, our feature story is about a woman-owned business. It's a woman-owned business. She's a remodeler. And she's been doing this for a number of years. She's really respected in her industry. And she is a survivor big time. And we write stories about her tenacity. We chose her in particular as our feature story because what's harvest season for remodelers? Spring, summer, fall, right? So it worked out really, really well to have her in the May issue as we're going into spring, summer, fall. So if she's top of mind, strategic. We want our readers to read about her. Oh, we need our lender, what they call her, right? But we start with our partners, and then we look at the theme. Does it work out well? Another source that we get for our stories is the community. Like I said before, we want to know about the hidden gems, the people that live here that make it awesome. We all know someone. We all know someone. And I will tell you, that person will not raise their hand and write a story about me. They won't. But their stories we want to know. I got a phone call from someone and said, hey, there's an artist that lives in Snohomish. And he's a watercolor artist. And you guys have seen watercolor. When you take the brush, dip it in the watercolor and put it to the paper, it goes like this. Well, this watercolor artist is able to show you telephone lines in crisp detail. It is beautiful. His name is Thomas Jones. And Thomas Jones is such a renowned watercolor artist that he was invited to the White House 3 years in a row to create their Christmas card. Thomas lives right here talking. I went to his home. He's the most humble human being I've ever met. And we're going to write a story about Thomas. Someone introduced us. So that's how. We're looking for who you know, who you're inspired by, who you work with. Now, I say that, and we want you to tell us, but don't go running to our next issue to see if they're in there. We do have an editorial calendar to try to honor, and again, fit it into people. We'll get them. Anybody else? Any questions?
That's really cool.
Thank you so much.
And,
I didn't get to give my report, so really quick.
oh.
The banquet, which is on June 21st, the cost of the tickets are $29 a person.
Oh, okay.
What they so
That's the installation.
thank you.
Oh.
You know, the banquet at the end of the year. And it's gonna be at the food bank.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. June 21st. Banquet, food bank, 5:30, $29. Perfect. And Ruth is catering, so
It'll be fun.
it'll be super fun.
And it will be beneficial to all.
And it will build goodwill and better friendships.
Let me tell you, the price is the most economical that we have had in many years.
Yeah, it's a 3% reduction, isn't it? That's deflation.
So no morning meeting then that day?
Yes, that's a good point. We're not going to bother with the usual Friday morning meeting. We'll just go ahead and do that.
And as soon as I can find out what time we can get in, decorate, whatever. I don't know who sets the theme, just let me know so we can make sure.
He does.
Okay,
I do.
so.
I'll be thinking about it for a month or so.
But, yeah, so start to think about getting your, I don't know, if you want to send out a list or however we do it, but, yeah. And it's gonna be a pasta bar, you know, you'll have gluten-free and then you'll have regular, so gluten-free focaccia bread and regular, and then you're just making raspberry for desserts.
You said dinner.
For dessert.
Oh, okay, for dinner.
I'll take it for dinner.
Okay?
Hey, Jack.
Yeah.
Anything else? Did, we miss anybody that had anything to contribute? Then I say, meeting adjourned.
Have a good trip, Don.
Thank you.
Bye, Dan.
Have a good day, everybody.
Nominee.